What's up, everyone? It is Jason Jani, and welcome back to my channel. I'm grateful that you're here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about red flags, essentially signs that present themselves when you're talking with someone, perhaps in an initial conversation or in an initial sales consultation before you sign a contract with that person, couple, place, business, whatever, that is interested in your service. And this is not just for DJs, but my conversation is going to be geared towards DJs, but these red flags could be applicable to any small business and many small businesses in the event industry as a whole. But these are indicators that the event might not be the best event for you, for your company, for your brand. And these red flags, if caught early enough, could potentially save your name, save your brand, and save a ton of stress and headaches that you do not need to deal with. Now, I've got people that support my channel in many different places in their career, depending on who you are, where you're at in your career, and of course your area. Having a red flag raised doesn't mean you need to shut the conversation down, turn around and run. It just means that you need to be sensitive to it and you need to address it before it becomes a problem, because sometimes red flags can be raised putting you on kind of guard mode, but they can easily be resolved with conversations. Now, I don't mean to generalize, I don't mean to stereotype, but I'm going to lay this out here because over my years doing this in the entertainment industry, I've learned to identify potential couples, clients, businesses, situations, events that are just simply not worth working for. And it comes over time, it comes with confidence, but it comes with dealing with situations, maybe people, or even ideologies that might not fall in line with what you're capable of doing, what you want to do, and more importantly, what you're going to enjoy doing when you're working. I think being happy when you work is a big deal, especially in the private event space. And sometimes saying no is good on you and everyone else, including the client. So let's get into it. Let me share a couple of red flags and a couple of stories to kind of reinforce the point. My first red flag comes in the area of wedding planners. And I'm gonna say up front before I get into this point that I adore my friends and all of the talented wedding professionals in the industry. I love working with planners. I love working with event curators. I love working with talented and passionate professionals. What I don't like working with in the event planning space from an entertainment perspective is a planner who will dictate unrealistic timelines based on their inexperience or lack of knowledge working at a particular venue or within a particular framework. And to kind of extend that, that's usually not for seasoned planners. That's for people that are looking to manage down to the minute of how things are going to roll out over the course of the celebration. The big problem that I have with managing an event down to the minute, although in theory it is proper and it is awesome, in actuality, one slip of one milestone could throw off the rest of the plan. And the issue that I have with it is if you have a particular or very, very granular thinking couple, bride, groom, parent, person, business owner, whatever, they might hold you to that planning document that was constructed outside of what reality is. So I think it presents a potential issue not only for the planner, but for the venue, for the other professionals that are working, and of course for the entertainment. As things start to deviate from the original plan, the longer the event goes on, the further apart the roads could actually go in terms of where you're at versus what was originally thought of in the conversation in terms of theory. So I have a problem with that because every working professional in the event industry knows that there are situations that present themselves that are outside of not only the entertainment's control, but the planner's control, the venue's control. And I think it's just important to say that. I'm also one that's very cautious of the new wedding planners that enter the overall industry, that essentially enter the industry after they've recently been married themselves and they worked with another planning entity. And now that one of their friends that are getting married, that they are now stepping up to the plate and essentially going through the motions, but not properly trained. I think that kind of all rolls into this kind of conversation. Again, I have to say, I absolutely love working with planners. I think planners, day of coordinators, they provide an incredible value and they provide an amazing service to the people that are able to invest in them, whether it's managing the details the day of so they don't have to think about it, or crafting or curating this magical experience that is based up on whatever vision they have leading up to that celebration, I think planners are a godsend, and I think the talented ones have an incredible service, and I absolutely love working with them. On to number two. If you're working with a wedding couple, I think a red flag could be when a parent is very dominant and prominent in a conversation, especially if you're trying to understand what the couple is looking to do. And the parent is essentially overriding what the couple's vision is. Parents who want to get what they want in lieu of or in place of what the couple actually wants. And I think that typically could be a red flag, but that red flag specifically is one that could be approached with a gentle conversation to the couple and even the parent if it becomes too much. But there are parents that like to live their lives through their children and the people that they have in their family, and I understand that from a lot of different perspectives. But this could be a potential red flag, not to walk away from the event, but simply to have a more detailed conversation, maybe offline, where you separate the parties and you do your job explaining the importance of the event from the couple side to the parent in question, or from just the reality situation from the parent to the couple. It's important that you don't get in the middle of a family drama situation, but when there are overriding powers, dominant personalities, and people that are funding a very, very special life event, it's important they're all on the same page. When they're not, it could be a potential issue, and that's why I put it here in this video. Next up, people that ask for discounts right away. This is something that I absolutely hate, and I understand the psychology around it. Everyone's looking for a great deal. Everyone's looking for value for their investment, but I'm someone that doesn't do discounts. I don't like to discount my services because I believe if you discount your services, you devalue the experience and you potentially jeopardize the delivery of the service as a whole. Things are priced because that's what they cost. And if they were padded and stuffed so that they were super, super, super ridiculously profitable, then you might need to adjust things. But if a couple, a client, a business owner, someone that's planning an event is pushing for discounts, essentially that's the red flag, because I believe they don't value the experience, or you haven't justified the value and experience that you bring to the table. I think it is super important that people value and trust the talent, the service, and all the things that are in conversation without pushing for discounts. Discounts can hurt you, not just for that event and of course whatever, but if someone that's connected to that couple or planner or whoever's booking you actually connect to you from that event, they're going to look for you to extend the same discounts and services to them in the future, leaving you in a rough situation, not just once, but down the road. Next up, let's talk about friends of friends doing photo, video, or DJ services that have never ever worked in the wedding industry as a whole. I think it's a big red flag because chances are the expectations are not going to be met. Now, there are some circumstances where there's some unicorns walking around on this planet that have the ability of storytelling, capturing cinema, capturing photography, or providing even DJ services without having an intimate knowledge of how weddings flow, a sequence of events, and how things need to be conducted. But those are event-specific situations. Maybe it's the vibe of the celebration or the location of the celebration, or maybe the style of photography or cinema. And I know that this world could be translated to invitations and transportation and so many other verticals within the event industry. I think it's super important. If you're someone watching this and you're planning an event, it is super important that you find professionals that fit within your budget and provide the quality of service that you're looking for, because I think that if you have friends working for you at your wedding, you jeopardize not only the quality of the service, but you might be let down in the future, and essentially you might be jeopardizing your friendship in the long run. I've seen it happen over and over again throughout the industry, over my time in the industry, where friends rely on friends and they drop the ball or something happens or whatever, not planned, but it does. And that friendship ends immediately after that wedding. Next up on my red flag list, let's talk about playlists. First and foremost, I don't use playlists, but I use crates. And I think there's a lot of DJs that rely on playlists to basically perform, and that is okay. What I have an issue with is when couples or people that are having events come to me and specifically ask me to play a specific playlist that they've sorted out on their Spotify, in song order. That to me defeats the purpose of having a creative, forward-thinking DJ on site at your event. And I think everyone watching this video can understand that. If you're playing a playlist in sequential order of how it was given to you, that was done in theory of how the event will be, but chances are the energy, the vibe, the visuals of the event would be very, very different than when crafted, on your phone or on Spotify in your home office or at your kitchen table. And that makes it an issue. So any couple that comes to me saying, I need these songs played in this specific order is a red flag to me. Now, I am open and 100% behind couples giving me a universe of music that they'd like to hear at their wedding. I'm open to people giving me specific songs they don't want to hear, specific artists, genres, whatever, whether it's giving it to me to play or giving it to me not to play. For me, it's all fair game when you're dealing with wedding entertainment situations. But if it's in sequential order, that's a big red flag for me. And I'm going to end this video with my last example of red flags. And that is when people approach a DJ or service provider of any kind, asking them to provide their services that cost them money to produce, time, energy, money, support, whatever it is, in exchange for quote unquote exposure, whether it's a mention in a magazine, a mention on an Instagram post, a mention in a video being featured on television. I think that is a big red flag. And over the years, I've done events that I was promised grand exposure opportunities and was in fact mentioned or part of these exposure opportunities. But I can say that none of those events ever turned anything back to me that made it worth me investing my energy, my team, and my mind into. Exposure, brand recognition is all good. But I think doing things in exchange for exposure is not the smartest use of time, even if you are new in the business, in comparison to crushing events on your own and spending time capturing content, creating content, and working on your marketing message and using the platforms that we all have access to, like TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube and Vimeo, to convey that message to the universe. I think instead of spending that what would be equivalent of $3,000 or $10,000 or $8,000 in DJ services for that one-off event, you could record a dope promo video and put $1,500 of targeted ad spend money boosting that video and putting it in front of other people that may be interested in what you do. And that alone would have a better ROI than doing an event that essentially you hope and pray will generate opportunity and most likely won't. Red flags go up for when people ask for services in exchange for exposure. So there are some of the red flags I can think of off the top of my head. And I started this conversation on Instagram, and there's been some really, really, really dope comments that people have added to the overall conversation. I'd like to continue the conversation here in the comments down below. So if there's a red flag that sticks out when you work with a couple, a business, or someone that's hiring you for whatever you do, DJ, photography, cinematography, if you're a wedding planner, I'd love to hear from you. Just drop into the comments down below and please share with the world the things that kind of set you off or potentially set you off in the terms of a red flag for working with people. Whether you continue the business relationship or you try to take some steps to adjust the conversation so that that red flag maybe goes away, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe present me with an idea of something that has presented itself that was a big red flag for you and how you dealt with it in the comments down below. If you are new to the channel and not yet supporting me, I would be grateful if you join me with some sub love also down below. Be on the lookout for more content dripping right here on this channel in the days, weeks, and months ahead. And I've got one more video for you to check out right over here about how we've been able to mass over 3,000 total reviews for the SCE Event Group. Review talk starts here. Be on the lookout for more content coming very soon. Thanks for watching.